Similarly, for IETE, we opened a branch and it was inaugurated by the then Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral L. Ramdas.
क्या बात है, great.
Came to Jamia Millia Islamia Ansari Auditorium with a fleet of 40 officers, Navy के officers, पूरा auditorium में 25% seats उनकी भरी थी. Big occasion, big occasion. And our Vice Chancellor at that time was Professor Sayyid Zuhur Qasim, SZ Qasim.
The scientist to go on Antarctica. The scientist to go on that Antarctica.
He was the first person to lead the Antarctica mission.
Correct.
Yeah, from India.
The oceanography, I think, Goa में है उसके head से.
जी.
मैं 1 सेकंड से ब्रेक लूंगा, पार्टिसिपेंट्स को अनाउंसमेंट कर दूं. Dear participants, good evening. Most welcome in the program. Our time to start the program is exactly 5:30. We will be starting 5:30 sharp. We have opened the room little early so that you can join, do networking. Keep on writing your name, your organization, your affiliation in the chat window. Have tea at home. This is the time of login, online networking, and taking tea at home. At 5:30.
भाई साहब हमारी चाय अभी बन रही है.
Yes, sir.
Sir is joined us.
Oh, great. Baba has joined, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have joined.
Oh, great.
Okay, good evening.
Hear me?
Wonderful. Good
Wonderful.
evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Good evening.
For IET, today's day is very historical, very momentous, and very memorable day.
Okay,
Very
great.
auspicious. So most welcome as a valued speaker for today's program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
And Professor Huda, Shubhankar and Anil had also joined. They have tested and they have logged off, right?
Yeah, that spoke to.
Okay.
But, I will request you to be here if you don't have any customer call.
Yes.
No, I
sure,
will-
definitely.
As long as Mr. Ajay is there in the program, I need not to see here and there. That is the duty of Mr. Ajay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, bye-bye.
Yeah, hello, Ajay. Nice to
Correct.
see you, Ajay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A very good evening to all distinguished panel of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers India, IETE, welcomes you all to the 67th IETE Foundation Day 2020 evening symposium on the theme Emerging Technologies for Effective Management of the Pandemic. We shall be starting with the event sharp at 5:30. Meanwhile, it is time for tea and networking. I request everybody to take tea at their home in this in a safe environment, and I request all the participants to keep sharing their affiliations in the chat window so that we come to know who all have joined us today for this auspicious occasion.
ये चैट विंडो की तरफ बैठे थे. ये नीचे है ना आ रही.
Chat
Mr. Pankaj.
at the bottom.
Mr. Pankaj.
Right bottom.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pankaj,
Yes, sir.
can you check our president, sir?
Yeah, he's just joining, sir.
Oh, good. Just
No, I had spoken just now, sir.
right. Because now 10 minutes are left. After 10 minutes at 5:30 sharp, we will be starting. It's a long program today.
Moment, sir.
Good evening to all the participants. I could see veterans and very, very senior people from different parts of the country are joining in this program. It's our pleasure to welcome you all. The time to start the program is 5:30 and we will be starting sharp at 5:30. So in between, please keep on posting your contact details for networking and have tea at home, please.
I request all the participants to kindly keep themselves on mute during the session. In case they have any questions from our respected speakers for the day, they can keep posting the same in the chat window. At the end of each speaker session, we will try asking your questions to our speakers. But during the session, kindly keep yourself on mute. A very good evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. The Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers India, IETE, welcomes you all to the 67th IETE Foundation Day 2020 Evening Symposium on the theme Emerging Technologies for Effective Management of the Pandemic. We shall be starting with the event sharp at 5:30. Meanwhile, it is time for tea and networking. So I hope all of you are enjoying your tea at your home in a safe environment. Keep posting your details in the chat window.
Dr. Ritika,
Yes, sir.
प्रोफेसर के अग्रवाल सर भी ज्वाइन करने वाले होंगे, ध्यान रखिए.
Yes, sir.
Toda sir?
जी सर.
Sir, Bakal sir has joined or not?
मैं अभी तक तो नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ बाकी सर को.
Sir, because just 5 minutes before I had spoken to him and he was trying to join, but now his number is out of coverage area.
I see. He has not joined so far.
So let me try once again.
Let me write a WhatsApp message to him.
Yeah, please.
You meanwhile try.
থেকে জয়েন করছে বলছে কথা বললাম এখন বলছে আউট অফ কভারেজ বাইরে বলা যাচ্ছে बाकी बोले अरे साहब आपको तो मैं फोन कर रहा हूँ लेकिन आपको तो देख पा रहा हूँ ये बोल रहे आपका कवरेज दे रही
Professor K.K. Agarwal has joined us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Professor K.K. Agrawal. Good evening, Pakal sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Namaskar.
So Dr. Bakal has also joined us.
Good evening, sir. K.K. Agrawal, sir. Good evening.
Some sound is coming, Ritika. Just check.
Yes, sir.
We will mute all sounds the moment program will start. Only a speaker sound will be available. Don't worry.
Professor Agrawal has not responded. He is mute, I think.
Let me check that.
Agrawal, good afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah, he is responding. Good afternoon. Namaskar.
Responded. Good afternoon.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Sir, namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
सर बाकल सर अपना कैमरा थोड़ा सा पोजीशन कर लीजिए सर.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir. Agrawal, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Agrawal, sir.
अच्छा आपका फेस नहीं आ रहा सर. बाकल सर.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good.
Good evening, Agrawal, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Professor Agrawal. Good
Good evening, Agrawal, sir.
कैसे हैं आप डॉक्टर साहब?
Dr. Tandon, sir. Good evening. Sir. Kapoor, sir.
Good evening, Kapoor sahab.
Sir, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Very good evening.
Good evening, Kapoor, sir. Dr. Mr. Reddy, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
आज कितने लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं?
66 up to 166 around 180 already joined.
कितना लिमिट है?
Good evening, Bakal sir.
Have already joined.
अच्छा.
There will be around 300 people attending, including YouTube, because many people find it difficult to join us often. So they join on live streaming because they are the liberty.
आवाज कट रही है.
Request all the members who have joined as a panelist that they want to please unmute. Please keep your mic on mute. The protocol of online session is to follow, and the protocol is to unmute only when you want to speak. Otherwise, keep yourself on mute.
Sir, it is 5:30. Can we start?
Yes, Dr. Ritika, just a minute. Let me check. Our president sir is audible now. Bakal sir.
Yes.
Very much audible, sir. Very much audible, sir.
Oh, good.
हम नाइट सुन पर हैं. Good evening, Bakal साहब.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, shall we start now? Bakal sir, shall we start?
Yeah. Please,
Oh yes,
please.
Dr. Ritika, please start. And Mr. Manish, accept a speaker. Please keep everyone on mute.
A very good evening to all distinguished guests, panelists, and participants. The institution Communication Engineering India, IETE, welcomes you all to the 67th IETE Foundation Day 2020 Evening Symposium on the theme Emerging Technologies for Effective Management of the Pandemic. Before we start with today's evening, I am extremely sorry and sad to share a very sad news about the passing away on 30th October 2020 morning at Pune of IETE Chandigarh Center's former chairman from 1986 to 89, Dr. S.R. and the former director of CSIO, Chandigarh. May God rest the departed soul in peace and give the bereaved family strength to overcome this loss. I request all to kindly observe 2 minutes silence to pay condolence and respect to the departed soul.
इसमें कितने हैं 5:40 हाँ अब तो ठीक है टाइम इसमें अब तो ठीक है अभी करा है इसको ठीक इसको ठीक चल रही है इसको
कपूर साहब म्यूट कर लो अपने को कपूर साहब म्यूट करो
डॉक्टर टनन सर
हाँ जी
Please go ahead, Ritika.
Thank you, sir. I kindly keep themselves on mute. Acharya Shanti Deva, a Buddhist master of 8th century, stated, "May I be a protector for those without one, a guide for all travelers on the way. May I be a bridge, a boat, and a ship for all who wish to cross the water." In this journey called life, we are all travelers in our domains and constantly in need of a common guiding force to follow. The 2nd November 1953 was a very memorable day in the history of IETE, as it marked the beginning of a long journey by a handful of telecom and electronics engineers with the purpose of advancement and promotion of specialized engineering areas. A journey that has crossed Golden Jubilee and Diamond Jubilee. Today, IETE completes 67 years of its existence. The aim and objective of IETE is dissemination of knowledge in the field of recognized professional activity, be it in electronics, telecommunication, and IT. IETE is today is India's leading recognized professional society devoted to the advancement of electronic, telecommunication, computers, and information technology, and it serves more than 1.25 lakh members through its 63 centers spread all over India and abroad. Its focus is on advancement of the science and technology of electronics and related areas. Towards this end, the institution promotes and conducts basic engineering and continuing technical education programs for human resource, national conferences, seminars, and workshops every year throughout India. It is a proud moment for all of us to commemorate the institution's inception with some of our very senior members, as well as some new and young members present amongst us today to be a part of the celebrations. I now take privilege to welcome amongst us our distinguished guests for the evening. I first welcome amongst us our chief guest for the evening, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation NBA, and former founder Vice Chancellor, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, GGS IPU, Delhi. I also welcome Professor J.W. Bakal, President, IETE India, Professor M.N. Hoda, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and TPPC, IET India. I also welcome amongst us Ms. Izhai Pavai, Vice President, Wireless Service Line, Altran Gurugram, Mr. Anil Pathak, Director, Engineering, Harman, Gurgaon, Mr. Shubhankar Pal, Assistant Vice President, Research and Innovation, Altran Gurugram, and Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Secretary General, IETE India. I request all our distinguished guests to kindly occupy the virtual online dais for the function today. I thank all the dignitaries. I would now first request Professor M.N. Huda, Chairman, TPPC, IETE, and Director, Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, to commence the evening with his welcome address.
Good evening to one and all. Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Education, New Delhi, and former founder, Vice Chancellor for 2 consecutive terms to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi. Above all, a noted academician of the country and mentor to many of us, who is the chief guest of today's program. Our distinguished speakers, Ms. Pavai, Vice President, Altran Gurugram, Shri Anil Pathak, Director Engineering, Harman Gurugram, Shri Shubhankar Pal, Assistant Vice President, Research and Innovation, Altran Gurugram, our own respected President, Professor J.W. Bakal, Secretary General, Shri Pankaj Sharma ji, respected Governing Council members, past presidents, distinguished fellows, eminent guests amongst all invitees, IETE members, ladies and gentlemen. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all at the outset of this 67th Foundation Day celebration. On this auspicious occasion, I take this privilege in my personal capacity and in the capacity of being Chairman, Technical Program Publicity Committee, to express my gratitude to all of you for having joined and wish you a very happy 67th Foundation Day. Also 67th birthday. My dear friends, today, that is 2nd November 2020, is a very auspicious day and little more value added day. Why? Because when 2nd November 1953, our IET was established by our forefathers, that was also Monday, and this 67 Foundation also Monday. This coincidence bring more value addition to today's celebration. So I take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy 67th Foundation Day as well as 67th birthday. My dear friends, every year IET celebrates its Foundation Day on 2nd of November at headquarters and all its centers across the country on some or other theme. Till now, all 66 Foundation Days were celebrated in physical mode. This year being a different year, this year having so much of challenges, having any celebration in physical mode, we decided to have it in online mode. And I take this pleasure in informing you that the kind of the participants from different parts of the country and 7 participants from outside the country, from Malaysia, from Bahrain, from Canada, from Spain, from Australia, and from Saudi Arabia. These participants and even the participants from outside Delhi, I could see the IET people from Kolkata are joining, IET people from Kerala is joining, IET people, of course, Mumbai and other cities. So these many people would not have joined. So this is the beauty of this online function, that all such peoples have joined. That is the beauty. My dear friends, it's very important day. And when programs are organized on some specific theme across the country by IET centers, including headquarters, we deliberated this year amongst all the governing council members, and based on the suggestion of many of the governing council members, many of the other senior members, we thought that Now we are talking of the technology which connects to the society. So at this moment, the emerging technologies, and when I'm talking of emerging technologies, primarily the technology domain of Industrial Revolution 4.0, and how these technologies, how these emerging technologies under Industry 4.0 can help to humanity, can help to all of us to effectively manage the pandemic kind of situation. Today is this pandemic, COVID-19, tomorrow maybe some another pandemic. In fact, this pandemic itself is being said as the most disruptive pandemic of last 100 years, last century. So we kept the theme emerging technologies for effective management of pandemic. My dear friends, a long journey IET has already traveled, and we know that a long journey is yet to be traveled. We are not complacent. We know that a long journey has to go, and that's how a great poet has said, जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वही दरिया को पार करते हैं. जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वही दरिया को पार करते हैं. जरा चलकर तो देख रास्ते खुद तेरा इंतजार करते. On this occasion of 67th Foundation Day, on this auspicious occasion, I, on behalf of entire IET fraternity, pay my homage to our founder members and all those who in one or other way, directly or indirectly, have contributed to make IET where IET is now today. I take this opportunity also to appreciate their noteworthy accomplishment that created this institution and made IET to which all of us are proud. I also convey my sincere gratitude to the all past presidents, all governing council members, all prior governing council members, that as their guidance have always helped us to steer the right direction and march forward, march with more energy, with more zeal, with more commitment. From here on, IET still has a long way to go, that we are not complacent, and we will go on. Our alumni, as Dr. Ritika has already said during initial opening talk, that above 1.2 lakh members are in the domain, in the fraternity of IET, and our alumni are at very, very senior positions. So with the help of that, with the help of all of them, we are sure that whatever the benchmark, whatever the milestone have been fixed for the IET, all of us will certainly achieve it. My dear friends, because this year was a COVID-19 year, this function was very special to us. So we decided that we will not play with the nature. That's how this unfortunate spirit of pandemic, and appreciated that and organized this program in online mode. And that's how we made this couplet true, which Bashir Badr, a great poet of Ghazal, has said almost 50 years ago, probably was said for occasion of pandemic and COVID-19 only, that koi haath bhi na milayega, कोई हाथ भी न मिलाएगा, जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से, ये नए मिजाज का शहर है, जरा फासले से मिला करो. My dear friends, I keep on saying that change is the only constant phenomena which happens on earth. Nothing else is constant or accept change. And wherever the people have refused to accept the changes, the changing ecosystem or the changed environment have changed them. Once upon a time, Nokia was a world leader but refused to Android, and where Nokia is, all of us know. Once upon a time, Yahoo was a world leader but refused to Google offer. Where is Yahoo now and where is Google now, we all can understand. So the message here is, whatever changes are going to come, we are going to upfront accept those changes, and this online program on such an apt theme is also embracing that particular change. And I keep on saying that when we are talking of change, change must start from every individual, change must start from us, and that's how it is said that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है. इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम खुद को नहीं बदलते. And that's how a great poet said, उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. My dear friends, the technologies which are there, the technologies which are coming as part of Industrial Revolution 4.0, we should not be complacent that we are contributing in the technology, we have to understand that to which extent the technology is coming to manage effectively or to improvise the quality of human being on earth. That is our challenge. And that's how the topic says that emerging technologies for effective management of pandemic or pandemic-like situations. I would like to give you a little background that at this moment we are in a pure digital age, which is also known as Industrial Revolution 4.0. Without going into the detail of Industry 1.0, 2.0, to which all of you are aware, I would like to give a straightaway understanding from Industry 3.0, which was an IT-enabled world, to Industry 4.0, which is now spoken as IT-driven world. When I'm talking of IT-driven world, I'm talking of having a strong penetration and a strong omnipresence and pervasiveness of AI and AI-enabled technologies like IoT, IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things like Internet of Everything, and etc. etc. Till Industry 3.0, technology models used to revolve around the business model, but the now changes which are coming in the ecosystem is saying that business model must revolve around the technology model. And that's how it has been found that in last one decade, the centuries old, decades old traditional business models have failed, and a quick kind of business model, innovative business model, creative business models launched by very small organizations which have come up on the card have started performing in a best possible manner. But the challenge again remains at the bottom line, that to which extent these changing business model with the help of the technology are improvising the life of we all human beings. And understanding that for today's program, we have invited very honored three speakers to whom I have already named. One of them will be talking that how 5G is going to help us to manage these kind of pandemic kind of situations in a more effective manner. My second speaker will be talking that how IoT as a whole, how these all technologies as a whole will help us to effectively manage the pandemic kind of situations. And a very important, very hot under discussion is digital twin. That when the people are not allowed to travel, the people are not allowed to get together in a physical mode, how digital twin is going to play a bigger role in that process and still expedite the manufacturing process and ensure to manage the pandemic kind of situation in a best possible manner. So this is today's agenda, and then I have my honorable chief guest, none other than Honorable Professor K.K. Agarwal, sir, who will be summing up all the discussions and will be helping us, will be ensuring and inspiring us that how technology in all respect can help us to manage such kind of situation, and will definitely try to note down the recommendations and send it to the ministry and the government that to which extent these kind of situations can be managed in a more better way with the help of the technology. I would not like to speak more because I have got three speakers and then the chief guest to speak on the topic. So I would like to end here with this note that the message of IET in this challenging time, is this difficult time, is that yahi hai junoon mera. When I'm talking mera means IET ka, कि यही है जुनून मेरा, यही है शौक मेरा, चिराग वहां जला दें जहां है अंधेरा, जहां कहीं भी हमें प्रॉब्लम आ रही है टेक्नोलॉजी के हेल्प से हम वहां रोशनी लाएं. ये हमारा मैसेज है आज फाउंडेशन डे के ऑस्पिशियस ऑकेजन पे. Thank you so much once again to all my friends, all my seniors, all respected people who have always been helpful to IET in whichever way IET expected. Thank you so much, and wish you again 67 Foundation Day as well as 67 happy birthday for IETE. Thank you so much. Dr. Ritika, over to you.
Thank you, sir. We also have amongst us Professor Dr. J. Bakal, President IETE. Professor Bakal is presently working as Principal, Shivaji S. Jondhal College of Engineering, Dombivli. In addition, he is appointed as Director in charge of School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, University of Mumbai, Kalyan. He has over 32 years of industry and academia experience and has published more than 100 papers in international journals and international conferences and several papers at national conferences. He has 7 patents to his credit and many more in process. He was also the Chairman Board of Studies, Information Technology, University of Mumbai. He is PhD and PG guide in a number of universities and has been actively involved in the development of IETE Mumbai Center. I request Sir to kindly give his welcome address on this auspicious occasion.
Thank you,
Over
Ritika.
to you, Bakal Sir.
Thank you for my introduction. Thank you, Ritika. Honorable Professor K.K. Agrawal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, NBA, New Delhi, and former founder, Vice Chancellor, GGSIP University, New Delhi. Chief guest of the today's function. Our expert panelist, Ms. R. Azir Powell, Vice President, Ultron Gurugram, Sri Anil Pat, Director, Engineering, Harman Gurugram, Sri Shubhankar Pal, Assistant Vice President, Research and Innovation, Ultron Gurugram, my colleagues in the Governing Council, Professor M.N. Hoda, Chairman TPPC, past presidents, distinguished fellows, respected Governing Council members, Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Secretary General IETE, eminent guest, IETE members, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all present here on the occasion of IETE's 67th Foundation Day. As you are all aware, the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers was founded in 1953 with the aims and objectives of dissemination of knowledge in the field of electronics, telecommunication, and IT. IETE serves more than 1.25 lakh members through its 63 centers spread all over India and abroad. It is India's leading recognized professional society devoted to the advancement of electronics, telecommunication, computers, information technology, developing and improving technical and professional competencies, particularly in the working environment, the greatest challenge that professionals face today. To help members avoid technological obsolescence and to achieve the mission of advancing the profession, IETE offers access to latest development in the field of technology via conferences, workshops, publications, and brainstorming sessions. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on this important occasion to commemorate IETE's Raising Day 67 years ago. This day is celebrated every year at the headquarters and all its 63 centers on a theme relevant to the present technological paradigm of the country. The theme selected for this year is Emerging Technologies for Effective Management of the Pandemic. Foundation Day is a day to memorize our founder members who established the institution on 2nd November 1953. Under the chairmanship of first president of IETE, Sri B.R. Batra. Among other members were Professor K. Srinivasan, Brigadier A.C. Ayappa, Sri B.V. Baliga, Dr. N.B. Bhatt, Sri N. Mahalingam, Wing Commander K.A. Joseph, Dr. M.B. Saraute, and Dr. Lal C. Varman. I express my deepest honor to these great men for their committed, resilient, and dedicated endeavors to make their vision turn into reality and pledge to take their efforts towards the development of institution further with our earnest hard work. COVID-19 is unlike any other crisis which is impacting the entire world. Governments across the world are trying to ensure the safety of their citizens and provide support to people affected. In spite of fast trade, people across the world are putting up a brave fight and using new age technologies to maneuver this new situation. Robots are being used in hospitals in some countries to deliver food, medicine, and other supplies to patients. To disinfect hospitals and other public areas, to check patients' temperatures, and to answer common questions. Coronavirus is even being diagnosed using AI, which can read thousands of CT scans in 20 seconds with an accuracy rate of 96%. These technologies are not only helping us fight the pandemic, but may in the future change how we deal with such situation. In a global pandemic, technology tools have become key weapons for effectively monitoring and controlling these outbreaks, especially when containment is a challenge. Technology cannot only operate as near stand-ins for healthcare professionals, but it can also match the scale and speed at which the current pandemic requires treatment. I am extremely grateful to Professor K.K. Agarwal, our chief guest, for his presence today. I also thank all speaker panelists, and I'm sure that what their presentation will fulfill the objective of our 67th Foundation Day and will throw on how the digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, molecular biology, Internet of Things, cloud computing, blockchain, additive manufacturing, 5G, and many more of such technologies are effectively improving the efficiency of the global efforts in fighting the pandemic. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. It is now time to commence with our invited talks. We are all dealing with the pandemic in our own ways. 5G can help the future to help in more than one way in such difficult times. Right from using devices which require low latency applications to very high bandwidth to having large numbers. 5G can help pave the way for the new normal world. 5G can help not only in businesses, but also for kids in remote teaching, in industries, also help to keep ourselves with our parents and remote ones while keeping the social distancing in place. Keeping in view the same, we shall see use cases of 5G in today's world in our first technical talk by Ms. R. Izhir Pawai, Vice President, Wireless Service Line, Eltron Gurgaon. Ms. Pawai is Vice President Technology in Aricent, Altran, Cape Gemini, a leading 5G solutioning global provider. She joined Aricent, which was called Hughes Software System at that time in 1999, and since then has been part of Aricent. Aricent is now part of Altran, which is now a Cape Gemini company. She had started working on creating licensing solutions from VoIP, including stacks, soft switches, MGCs, application servers, VoIP phone client, etc. Then moved on to 3G and then to 4G. She has been the chief for 4G Core EPC a licensable framework offered by Altran. She has also helped many customers in solutions related to 4G through Altran. For last around 2 years, she has been working in spearheading 5G activities within Altran. Some of Altran 5G frameworks have also been architectured by her. She is now helping Altron customers in 5G solutions from enterprises to private sectors. She has also helped customers migrate and ruggedize their solutions for a cloud-based, highly scalable solutions. I welcome you to this congregation, ma'am, and request you to kindly initiate your talk.
Thank you.
Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritika. Distinguished honorable guests, Professor Huda, Mr. Bakul, Professor Agarwal, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We are really pleased to be part of this very memorable event, which is the birth and anniversary of IETE. I take this opportunity to express my deepest appreciation to this whole community. And I'm privileged to be part of this to explain what our thoughts are for 5G use cases in India post the COVID-19 era. So before we start with all the different functionalities on how 5G can help the COVID situation, we'll first start with basic understanding on what is 5G and how does it help our overall technology. 5G is a post technology, or it has a predecessors, multiple technologies right from 3G, HSPA plus, which was an advanced 3G, LTE, and advanced LTE solutions. So you can see the bandwidth improvement across these technologies. 3G offered 2 Mbps type of throughput, HSPA 42.2 Mbps, till we came to LTE, which allowed 100 Mbps. And now in 5G, theoretically, one user can get up to 10 Gbps. I'm saying this theoretical because this is in an idealistic situation, and we are not always in an idealistic situation. So in a real world, we might get lesser throughput, but this is the level to which we can get the throughput in a 5G network. And some other advantages that we have on 5G, of course, the bandwidth we saw, it is 10 to 100 times more than 4.5G or 4G. Availability, complete 9, the 5.9 availability is there. And as Mr. KK Agarwal had presented, he said that we can have many IoT devices, robots, etc. connected. When they are over 5G, you get even better latency. You get a latency of 1 millisecond compared to 4G, which gives you only a 10 millisecond latency. Then applications which like gaming applications, for which we need very high bandwidth. So 5G offers 1,000 times higher bandwidth per unit area. Devices, a lot of IoT devices are coming up, and we saw this in previous discussions also, that IoT devices are best connected through wireless technologies. 5G offers you a very high number of connected devices per unit area. So in an LTE can also offer you connected devices, but 5G can offer you 10 times better number of users connected in a per unit area over LTE. Of course, other simple things like higher battery life for those IoT devices, like pressure sensors, etc. We can have them through 5G, which can give us better battery life. And it would also give a green revolution because it gives 90% reduction in the network energy. Now, we have seen all this COVID situation, and by now we are very clear about what all we have to take care. We have to take care of different health checks. If there are symptoms shown, we go and visit doctors. The doctors can either ask us to stay at home and quarantine, or in worst cases, hospitalize them. And otherwise, we follow all the precautions like washing our hands, sanitizing them, wearing face masks, etc. And we take care that we don't touch those regularly touched surfaces like doors, etc. There are different devices that have been created. But over and above that, we need to see how 5G can help all this additional solutions that are required in 5G in the COVID era. So there's one myth I just wanted to show it using a cartoon that there was a myth that and specifically started in UK, I suppose, where people were destroying the 5G towers because they were suspicious that COVID-19 is being caused by 5G. So this cartoon explains, no, it's not really a 5G which is causing the COVID. It's our negligence and ignorance and uh, the stupidity with which they take the solution, and that is how this is. If they map it to 5G, but it's actually not 5G which is causing the COVID-19, and that we all are aware. So now coming to in Indian context, specifically explaining how 5G is penetrating in India, what are the things that are coming up, and then we will see how it would really help in the post-COVID era. TRI recently announced, I mean, I think within 1 week itself, they had announced that they are going to allocate 5G spectrum, 3.3 gigahertz to 3.5 gigahertz, and this will be allocated in Q1 2001. This is a good sign from 5G point of view for Indian context, because this means after that, the operators can start offering 5G services. And 2 weeks back, we also saw a big splash news by Reliance Jio. And they said that they have tested complete 5G gears with Qualcomm. This also helps specifically for the IoT devices and other solutions which Reliance Jio is planning to offer. Following what Jio's announcement, immediately after that, Airtel also presented its view, saying that it's also would be offering the 5G solution, a completely in-house solution, like what Reliance Jio is planning to do. For this, some bands have also been offered. Now, this is a very recent discussion that is happening in the government space, where they're saying that the E band and the V band, which are unlicensed right now, they're not going to be completely unlicensed for 5G. They're saying that they can offer it for 5G with light regulation, which means that it will not be completely unlicensed, will not be licensed, but at the same time, it will be with the light regulation. So you could consider it equivalent to something like a CBRS in US. But this would help many industrial users, specifically Industrial 4.0, where they can offer now their own 5G network. They don't have to be dependent on operators, because operators would still be needing the 5G spectrum because they are going to offer it to the commercial users. But for enterprises, for industrial use case, these light regulation spectrum can be used and offer 5G for these businesses, which can leverage many functionalities of 5G, and at the same time, you don't have to pay very heavy amount also. Then Jio is planning to launch around phones, the 5G phones in less than 5,000 rupees. You might have seen that. Qualcomm has signed a deal with Jio only, so they are ready to invest around 7.3 billion INR for 5G solutions in India. And you'll see here that where Jio and Qualcomm had said that they are going to offer the complete 5G solutions for classroom trainings, and they have some AR, VR applications for that. So many things are going ahead in 5G space. But now let's see how this helps for for Indian context, specifically in the COVID era or the post-COVID era. We are seeing recently a lot of news where farmers are complaining that they can't sell their harvest crop because they can't really go out, and there are a lot of barricades that they have to pass through. So recently you would have seen UP government, they had announced some specific online portal applications which can allow the farmers directly to contact the end users for selling their harvest. And that way they make sure also that they get minimum fare for whatever is their crop. So this also helps them and they're not cheated. And farmers can also use 5G. In addition to this, the minimum is having better number of users on the wireless network, but additionally 5G, what it offers is you can place those sensors, and that's what is shown in this picture. You can have wireless sensors in soil, and this helps collect all the soil information, moisture information, and other fertility information, present that information to a cloud application, and then cloud can determine what type of watering has to be done or what type of fertilizers have to be used. Those can all be done using these sensors on the land. And these cloud-based applications can really help these farmers. So this also picture also shows this new age architecture where all information is collected on cloud computing. And this is all collected using 5G because you're going to give a lot amount of data, lot number of devices are there. And this can completely be offered because of 5G, 5G high capacity, high number of device information that can be connected on 5G, that can be collected onto the cloud, and then you can be feeding in all the different farmers and other related users. Another important user is in the teaching. We have seen that during the pandemic, all the kids are studying from home. So they need high broadband. Yes, you see that right now there are 5G Wi-Fi interfaces, but 5G offers you even higher bandwidth in remote locations. Of course, right now urban users and their children are benefiting from this Wi-Fi connectivity. But the rural areas, they still get a low speed DSL connection, or in fact, sometimes they don't even get a wireless connection. But if you have 5G, then the connectivity can be available to all remote areas and very high bandwidth. That too, very high bandwidth because 5G offers you very high bandwidth with no last mile requirements. I mean, today you have this fiber connecting to your house, so it's even within your residential societies, inside your apartments, they are digging those to provide the fiber connection. Maintenance of those fiber connections are also very costly. But if you have these 5G connection, then these can be provided in all these remote areas, and you can get better, higher bandwidth for the kids. And in rural areas, another big thing advantage that in this post era is that now that teachers have got used to online education, they can even provide teaching to rural students, not only to the urban students, even to the rural students from their urban areas, because you have everything remotely connected. The teaching, different complex teaching aids, which are right now available mostly to the urban children, they can be also be provided to the rural areas. And even to the urban areas, some things you can't take it to your classrooms. Now, because of these teaching aids, these demonstrations can be done using online connected videos, etc., which also help these urban students also. These online sessions can even be recorded, and these can be leveraged to other users in different locations. The results and checking is also possible faster because everything is available as a data online. Another thing which was also talked about just now is about the health. We saw that there are remotes. Yes, you're right that the remotes are there, the robots are there, which can help. Specifically, it was used in China, and this above picture is showing how corona was detected using robots. So they had these robots which could check the temperature, which could check your many symptoms, and that could even give a verdict very quick, a good result about the pandemic being there or not there, or the virus being there in a person or not there. And then there were applications, many applications came by which can help us check the trends in our area, how many cases are there in those areas, etc. But now with 5G, what you get is you are dependent on a lot of functionality within hospitals, which currently, for example, there's this robot that we have shown, which is called the HOSPI. It's a robot we used in Japan, specifically in hospitals for delivery of medicines, etc. It's run currently on Wi-Fi and is also being tested in Changi government hospitals in Singapore. But the issue over there is the security. 5G provides much better security, which a Wi-Fi cannot. And that is why they are trying to have all these robots connected over 5G. And how this helps in the COVID situation, we'll see that over here. That earlier people were talking about remote surgery, and many doctors was not really appreciable about this remote surgery being done by using a wireless technology. Even before COVID came, people were talking about 5G use cases, and remote surgery was one of them. But the real advantage of remote surgery was seen right now after the COVID, where people said, yes, it is correct that we can't every time go to the patient's place to do the surgery. Specifically, let's say it's such an infectious disease. The doctors are also our front warriors, so we would like to protect them also. So instead of asking them to go to the surgery room and do the surgery, they can be in adjacent rooms and use the 5G's low latency applications to provide, which can give you a very quick response time, and see when the knife or that instrument is moving, it can give you the immediate picture like what you see in a face-to-face. The same way you get as good a latency when you are using these remote surgery units over 5G. And also the best part is you can get a very good resolution about these pictures that are there. So that's how this is also helping the remote surgery, and specifically has been really useful in the post-COVID era, because people can understand the problems caused by the infectious disease. Now, another big usage is of 5G in business areas. In business places, we have the very high broadband connections, and we need it always connected and all anytime. Like even the online meetings, like right now, the meetings that we are saying the beginning of this session, it was explained that till all these 66 years, it has been a face-to-face meeting. It's the first year that this is being done remotely. And all this requires the high bandwidth. And that can be provided, of course, right now you are having the DSL connection or fiber connection, but consider that when you need even higher bandwidth, number of users are going to increase. Physically digging more areas to get a fiber connection is even more difficult. So that is where 5G comes into picture, to give you a better bandwidth without any physical digging or physical fiber connections. Many business areas have now deployed robots for delivery. You can see one like this. This is an Amazon delivery. For many areas where there are not very important immediate delivery, they're using these delivery robots to deliver the essential information to the relevant people. But if there are even such essential things that have to be delivered, which have a low storage life, like food, etc., there people are using drones. So this is another thing that has come up in this COVID era for this delivery in a place where physical movement is restricted. And even if it is not restricted, it is always advisable to use some robots, etc., because you get a low contact with other people to keep a social distancing needs. So those are the things which are really helping, and it will be something that will be seen even in India. In India, government agencies are still testing how drones can be used, because there are some legal issues with respect to that, but they are still working on that. So this is also something that would be coming in future. Then other apps, many apps are coming for the travel requirements. We are now very paranoid with respect to anybody touching, or even if we have to collect a boarding pass, we don't want to touch that boarding pass. So many things are coming as app-based now. All boarding passes, app-based cars, cab requests, even the tickets on the buses, etc. These are all becoming app-based, phones-based, so that there is a minimum touch that is required, and any payment is all touch-free. So those are all coming through 5G technologies. Industry 4.0 is something that we were also checking earlier, that industry units are now highly getting dependent on 5G, specifically in India when the E-band and the B-band are going to be released for industrial use or for this minimum licensed spectrum. Their industry 4.0 will definitely revisit those bands for multiple things. Like you have these mines and other things where pressure checks, temperature checks are very important. When there are people over there, yes, there are monitoring people who can govern that. But now with minimal people on ground and everything being done remotely, the 5G technology really helps you collect all this data from all remote IoT devices, sensors, and then take care about any such inequality that can take place, and make sure that it's an end-to-end smooth process for delivering the requirements. For this, each of these IoT devices require different type of bandwidth, and 5G provides you a mechanism of something like called a network slicing, where the whole slice of the network can be sliced and you can get a better optimal usage of the network resources, which is possible only in 5G, not in the predecessor technologies. The production line quality can also be verified because you get a very good quality QoS, and that very good QoS gives you a very good resolution of the pictures, which helps you also verify the production line quality. Entertainment and gaming is another important thing. So in today, we have seen that with COVID coming in, we are all mostly at home. There are a lot of people watching videos and those movies, etc. Now, all these require a good amount of IP-based connection. Laying a DSL or a fiber is very, very tough. And specifically in during lockdown times, it's even become even more tougher, not only for laying down new connections, but also for taking care of maintenance of these connections. So that is where 5G comes into picture, where you have all the 5G connections already laid, and that is only providing you that from the last mile, you have the 5G connection to your house, and from the house inside, all the devices are connected over Wi-Fi. So this is something that is really picking up in Western world, but will also soon be seen in India. In fact, we heard once that Reliance Jio was also planning to have first use case of their 5G for the commercial users in India. They were planning to have the 5G mainly for this online TV access. And because 5G gives you a better quality and also good resolution, so you can also use it for gaming applications. So there are nowadays you will see a lot of ads coming on TV where there are a lot of low latency applications or online gaming applications coming. These can be best connected through a wireless technology. And what else can be used than 5G? Because people are also requiring to play or wanting to play these games while they are on the go. So that time they don't have a Wi-Fi at home, etc. They'll only have to rely on some wireless technology, and 5G helps you with a quick, low latency applications for good online gaming, etc. Surveillance. This is something we actually saw in TV also multiple times during the COVID situation. All the lockdown was mainly controlled, and this is one picture showing an Indian police trying to control the lockdown using drones. We had seen a lot of pictures regarding this on TV where they were showing that people were sent back home because they could, in a very high altitude, they could run their drones and then they could see who are the people coming out. And the drones could follow them and make them go back to their houses. Now, of course, this was currently being done on 4G. But you can consider that the amount of devices, if you have a large number of devices, then 5G is necessary. And for that, trying to free up the E band and the V band currently being used by defense. That will be used, and that will be the unlicensed spectrum, which will be that limited, limited controlled access. Or again, this will be given. Some of that will be given as a high priority to defense, so that they can use it for all these type of applications and control the different situations. We had also seen in many places that panic were created when the front end warriors were going and trying to collect some samples, etc. People were pelting stones on them and asking them to go back. So again, here these applications, these drones, etc., can be used. And not only can they collect, I mean, today, as of today, the main thing that they were doing is just collecting information. But with 5G coming in, these images can be fed in a real time to a backend application, and this backend can immediately process these images and identify the suspect, and then take care of an action immediately, which really helps if you have a good, better latency. And that is really possible with 5G because of these low latency applications at the edge of the network itself. And also, you have a lot of high quality videos that are transmitted. These 5G is the only technology where you have a very high uplink video transfer. So that is also the reason why in this COVID era, 5G can really help these surveillance applications. That's all that I had. Any further questions?
Thank you. Beautifully explained the 5G use cases. I can see a few questions from our participants. So with your permission, may we take a few questions?
Yes, please.
Fine. Ma'am, the first question we have, what are the environmental aspects of 5G technology, especially for birds and plants around us?
Okay, very good question and very appropriate. So yes, we have seen a movie also that had come up with respect to how wireless technology affects the birds. Now, that is correct that yes, wireless technology, any technology, whether 3G, 4G, they are affecting the birds. But the best part with respect to 5G is 5G does not need additional high spectrum as compared to what 4G or 3G was offering. Yes, there are technologies defined by specification for very high bandwidth also, very high frequency also. But you'll see what TRI is offering is the same 3.3 gigahertz to 3.5. This is as much as what our Wi-Fi is also offering today, the same band, or even a little slightly higher than our Wi-Fi bands. Or in fact, if you go for 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi access band, these are even lesser than that. So in that sense, yes, if you go with what Verizon is using in US, which is 24 gigahertz, it will affect not only birds, also human beings. But with this low band, which TRI is trying to offer, it is not going to affect as much. I mean, or I would say it is only going to affect as much as what a 4G is affecting today.
Oh, that's great. Dr. Ritika, because we are getting late by around 10 minutes, so we'll now cut short the questions and we'll move to next speaker, please. If time permits, we'll take up remaining questions at the end of the session. Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a wonderful talk. Our next talk is on IoT technology and its use cases for pandemic by Mr. Anil Pathak, Director Engineering, Harman Gurgaon. Mr. Anil Pathak is Director and having over 22 years of software engineering experience. He has delivered large number of multi-site products and programs for Fortune 500 customers across the globe, that is USA, UK, China, France, Japan, South Korea, and India. Currently working on connected cars, connecting devices, IoT, and cloud-based solutions in automotive domain with Harman Gurgaon. Sir has a flair for technology, knowledge dissemination, and drives related initiatives in organizations as well as academia. Apart from being a successful technocrat, Anil sir is also an MBA from MDI Gurgaon. He shall be presenting high-level concepts and architecture building blocks of the IoT technology and shall also cover relevance and use cases dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. I request sir to start with the talk.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Ritika. I hope I am audible.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thanks, Dr. Hoda, for giving me this excellent opportunity to be part of this 67th celebration day, and happy birthday, IETE. And good evening to all, Professor Bakal, Professor Agrawal, and all eminent guests. So I'll be taking next 20 minutes and would talk about IoT. So without further delay, so this is the agenda I'll be covering. A brief overview. I guess many of you would already know about IoT. And then few use cases related to pandemic, social distancing, contact tracing, safe return to work, and then remote health monitoring, remote sanitation using drones, and remote hygiene management using CCTVs, cameras, and then last but not the least, assistance by robots. So with that, so that's a brief, very high-level architecture of IoT. So broadly, there are 4 layers. The layer 1, which is at physical layer, we have smart things, sensors, and actuators also, where you get the data and you also act on based on the use cases. The second layer is about communication, and then various gateways and analytics, which is done on the edge side at the client side, and various communication protocols, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Bluetooth, NFC, and in that series, as Pavai ma'am has also mentioned, 5G is also being added. So 5G is good, but it is not the mandatory to IoT to function. In fact, on the contrary, you can have edge-light protocols as Zigbee to function. Then the third layer is about data processing layer, where you do a lot of analytics, a lot of middleware, and mostly this is done on the cloud. There are many cloud providers, as we know. And then you have topmost layer, where you have various applications, your mobile apps, your web portals, and then as an end-to-end, there are many use cases related to connected car, connected home, for remote health, and robotics also. So while I'm talking, maybe members can chat and put a Q&A and response. What all IoT experience you have been using? Is anybody having any IoT device at home, or your experience? I'd love to hear that feedback. With that, in terms of, there are 5 key components of IoT. One is sensing, using endpoint. Second is about communicating. Third is about security. And fourth is about understanding, using data and analytics. And fifth is about acting, and artificial intelligence play a good amount of role in that. IoT itself is not a one field. In fact, it works hand in hand with other technologies. For example, like 5G is coming. So as Pavai mentioned, good amount of use cases are coming. So in a short, in a Hindi, it's a choli daman ka saath hai, 5G or IoT ka. So we'll see more use cases coming in. And then there are more subfields of IoT also coming. IoRT, which is Internet of Robotic Things, where we'll see robots are being used with the help of IoT. Then IOMT, Internet of Medical Things, and specifically with the post-COVID era, this is highly being used. And IoT is also being used in the industry, which is IIoT. So that's a brief about IoT. Now let's see how IoT is being used in this COVID time. In next few slides, I'll specifically focus in the Indian context, because generally there is a perception that all these technologies are good. Maybe these are good for US and UK, other advanced countries, and India is still kind of very far away. But it's not like that. We'll see how these technologies being used. So let's talk about the first use case for public care. The use cases like social distancing, contact tracing, cluster identification, and quarantine compliance. All these are very, very important. As you know, Professor and Mr. Modi has also said, right? Jab tak dawai nahi, tab tak dhilai nahi. So for that, I think it is a mandatory to have this Arogya Setu app. Arogya Setu app is a wonderful example of having an IoT in use. There are worldwide similar technologies has been used, and every country has similar kind of an app. So our Arogya Setu app is on a similar lines of a Trace Together app made by Singapore. And we can have a look in the sparsity of time. I'm not going, this is a website, we can go there. There's a 2-minute video also. If time permits, we'll have a look on that. And the technology being used is about GPS, Bluetooth, edge analytics, and the cloud analytics. And with this, Google and Apple has also, in the meanwhile, given their APIs called exposure notification APIs. So a lot of new apps are also being made using these APIs. And now the issues, so the key issue is this availability of a smartphone. So I think last I was checking, I think around 150 million, I think the downloads of this Arogya Setu, which is kind of 15 crore, right? It is good, but still less, right? With the country of 135 crore. And then level of take up and compliance. Many people also believe, why to, install that. And even if they install, they do not turn on the Bluetooth, all these issues. So that is about public care. The right side diagram talks about how Arogya Setu works. I think in this limited time, I'll not probably get into that. Okay. Now, similar use cases for the return to work. As of now, we have a liberty to work remotely, but I think this would not continue for a long. I think partially we need to continue going to the offices. Many offices have already started. So with this, a lot of these corporates are using these technologies and making various solutions. Some are based on the apps, some are based on the smart ID card, some are based on the safety watches, and mainly purpose is like social distancing. Here, it'll be real-time alert. If you are in the office, if you are within 6 feet, then the app would give an alert or a beep. And then you can do contact tracing by end of a day, who came in contact with whom, and then who is better following the compliance, that 6 foot ki duri, right? And all that report you can get. And by end of a day, management can get a report, right? Both in the real time and the dashboard, how things are. And they can also do live crowd management also, that are there more people in the cafeteria or some near coffee shop, all this, so that you can manage. So it is a kind of a variant of an Arogya Setu app customized to the needs of the organization. Similarly, like in Harman, we have developed an app called Harman Digital Work Pass. So if you just search on the Google, you'll get it. But this can only work for the Harman employee. And this app only tracks while you are within the office only. It is no way to kind of track the employees while they even at the home. So they have a concept of a geofencing, right? So while the geofence within the office, it'll work, and at the home will not work. And the similar technology is being used. Separate hardware. I'll not put a name. Very reputed organization in India has come up with this smart safety watch. mainly for employees who may not have a good amount of connectivity, because this watch is not on a Wi-Fi or a SIM. It is on the LoRa, long range technologies. Concerns are privacy and security. Moving to our third use case, very innovative use case, and proud to share that this is in India. This is developed by ECIL, Electronic Corporation of India, with AIIMS Rishikesh, and it's actually deployed in the AIIMS Rishikesh. The use case is very simple. You are monitoring the vitals of a COVID patient, and then the benefit is that it will reduce the exposure of frontline health workers. And at times, these COVID patients are given quarantine at home. So you can have this solution. You can track their vitals and see everything is good in terms of their body temperature, their oxygen level, their heart rate, respiration rate, and you can have a dashboard. And should there be a need of emergency, then you can call the patient to the hospital. This is indigenously made. You use GPS. You also use this for quarantine compliance also, that person is not moving out of the home. It is based on the Google map, and it is also available on the Bhuvan map, which is made by ISRO, right? So this is one use case. There's a very related use case of elderly fall detection. As you know, elderly people are prone to fall. So again, you have a devices which can detect the fall using accelerometer and gyroscope and notify the near and dear ones and the health officials should there be an unfortunate that kind of incident. So that's and again, use cases are privacy and the security of the data, because good amount of data, the private data of a person, the health data is being recorded. The fourth use case, which Pavai also captured, is in terms of sanitization and the crowd management using drones. So as I mentioned, all these technologies work hand in hand: 5G, drone, artificial intelligence, and then IoT. In totality, then this solution is offered. Again, benefits are similar: no exposure of first-line workers, better crowd management, you can do surveillance. And this is actually being used in Delhi. Delhi police already has 200 drones in Azadpur Sabji Mandi. As we knew that Azadpur was most prone area for this COVID infection. And Gujarat police also use that. Again, the technologies are drones, GPS, Google Map, IoT. And the challenges are, issues are privacy and the cost. Our second last use case is hygiene management in terms of compliance. As we know, we have a habit of putting a mask, but in our own way, we put a mask to our chin rather than mouth and the nose. So with this technology, we can figure out who has the mask properly and who does not wearing the mask properly, and not even at all. The benefits are increased hygiene compliance. You can do monitoring in a larger area, and this can be deployed in public places near airports, railway stations. So this has actively been used in Telangana, Hyderabad, Saika. So these are the live pictures from there, where you can see that with this image processing, we are able to see the person who is wearing the mask or not. So again, and then police and the governing bodies has the using IoT, remote dashboard management, and they can see how the compliance level is. Issues again is a privacy. A lot of personal data is being exposed. This is our last use case, and I think we'll have some time. We can have a quick look on that video also. The last use case is about taking help in pandemic using robots. So I'm happy to say that a lot of these Indian robots. So I know Kavi ma'am talked about China robot, etc. So yeah, I think initially that was, but I'm happy to share of Indian robots has come. There's a company who manufactured Mitra. I think last 2-3 years back with Mr. Modi and inaugurated in Hyderabad this Mitra robot. One new robot has also come, a Mitri. I think it is being used for there's some background noise coming. Maybe you can put on a mute. Those who are not speaking. Thank you. It's being used for maybe a request. Those who are not speaking can be on a mute, please. Somebody is driving. Yes. Okay. So yeah, this Mitra and Mitri for telemedicine, comforting patient, they can make a video call, and then this EST, very innovative use case. As you know, this COVID-19 virus can be eliminated with the UV disinfection. So with these robots, what you see on the top, you can do disinfection. And Professor Bakal also talked about a humble request if somebody can be on mute, please. I think the voice is coming from BVICAM. Right. Yeah. Okay. Professor Bakal also talked about a robot which was Corbot. I think that's made by an Indian student and is being used for distributing food, water, medicine dispensers. And happy to share that this is actually deployed in a Fortis hospital in Bangalore. So, and the technology is being used is IoRT, Internet of Robotic Things, face recognition, natural language processing, various diagnostic tools, temperature, ECG, pulse meter, and artificial intelligence and robotics and IoT. So yeah, these are the various use cases I wanted to present. Questions if you have, and if I have 1 or 2 minutes, I can quickly show 1 or 2 screens. So this is the Harman Digital Work Pass. It's available on App Store and Google Play Store. And then this is our Arogya Setu website. You can go and understand. And then there's a 2 minutes small video. Let me see if I can share the audio. Okay. So while I'm setting this up, we can see if there are any questions, and we can talk about those. Okay.
So can we take the questions in between?
Yes, yes. Yeah, please take the question while I'm setting up this small video.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
first question that we have, what are the security concerns of those people who are using Arogya Setu app? As recently a news had come saying that the government has no idea about who created the application.
Yes, yes. Right. So that is the right point. But I think post that, I think government has already submitted the source code of this app on the GitHub, and the source code has already been shared, specifically the source code on the device side of it, on the mobile app side of it. So yes, having said that, I think it's a reasonably well secure application. We know that no application is 100% secure, but yes, with the kind of 15 crore downloads we already have, and no event per se has been reported that the privacy data is compromised. So I think we can say that it's a reasonably secure application, right?
Yes, sir. So another question we have, which is more related to the academia, participant would like to know how far IoT would have applications in STEM, that is science, engineering, technology, mathematics.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Can you please repeat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How application in STEM, that is science, engineering, technology, maths, management, as medical education.
Yeah, so I would not put in a one category. As I mentioned, IoT is not a one specific technology. it is actually a combination of application use cases of multiple technologies. So it does have combination of science, combination of engineering, mathematics for various artificial intelligence, various algorithm. So yes, it is kind of a mixture of lot of technologies. Does it help?
Yes,
There
sir.
are wonderful, Mr. Anil. There are many other questions, but I think we'll take up remaining questions at the end, and
Okay.
we'll move for the third talk, right?
Okay, thank you. So maybe people can have a look on that video of Arogya Setu
Oh
on
yeah,
the.
please, please, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have wonderfully explained the interconnection of IoT with our. Next, we have digital twin is a digital replica of physical asset, system, or process across its life cycle, enabling understanding, learning, reasoning, dynamically rating for improved decision making in real time and drive positive business outcome. Digital twin defining future of manufacturing in post COVID-19 world talk by Mr. Shubhankar Pal, Assistant Vice President, Research and Innovation, Altran Gurugram. Shubhankar Pal is Assistant Vice President, AVP Technology. With over 18 years of professional experience in IT and telecommunication, Shubhankar leads the network automation and AI solutions in the innovation team. His responsibilities include incubating new solutions, developing proofs of concept, developing a roadmap for productization of solutions, service offering definitions and technology consulting. Prior to joining Aricent, he worked at Nokia Networks as senior solution architect, leading large-scale system integration projects for telecom service providers in the area of LTE and IMS. We welcome you, sir, and kindly request you to kindly enlighten us.
Thank you, Dr. Rika. I hope I'm audible to all of you. It's a
Yes, sir,
real privilege
perfectly.
for me. Thank you for confirmation. It's a real privilege for me to get an opportunity to speak at the IETF Foundation Day, a very special event. And I thank Dr. Huda for giving me this opportunity to speak here. I'll be talking about a very interesting topic, which is an emerging technology called digital twin, and how it is helping in the post COVID-19 or reviving the manual 19 world. And it is very connected to what Ms. Pawai, Mr. Anil Parak was talking about 5G and IoT. So it will be an extension to that and a very interesting use case on top of IoT. So we all know about this crisis, and the crisis is beyond what we know and what we can think of. So we had a very massive financial crisis in 2008, and this is, I think, much beyond that, much more hard it will hit us. And the recovery of different industries that will happen after the post COVID-19 will be much slower than that is what leading analysts like Ronald are predicting right now. So what are the industries which are impacted by this this COVID crisis? Some of the industries which are directly serving the end users, like the passenger airlines or the automotive industry, they are the most affected or has the highest exposure, and followed by them will be the manufacturing industry and the associated industries which are supporting these front-end industries like oil and natural gas, chemicals, and so on. So for us, it is very important that how this renewal and revival of these industries will happen, so that with keeping this pandemic in mind, keeping the health risk in which our employees, our workers will be, can we have a solution that is viable in this new normal? So that is what I talk about here. Mr. Anil Pathak was talking about IoT. A foundation for the digital transformation that we have seen. So we know that we are in the age of Industry 4.0. So it all started with Industry 1.0, which was steam based automations. Then we had the mass production systems, and finally Industry 4.0 is about the cyber physical product systems. But for these pandemic situation, this digital transformation that we're in right now has to be much more extensive, and has to be much more extreme than we know today. So what we need in this era twin, which is, I will say, is a step ahead on the IoT, takes benefit of other associate technologies like AR, VR, and IoT, AI, and machine learning to give a complete 3D replica of the physical system. Okay, I have some question in the chat. Let me see. Okay. So the idea here is that whatever I have in the physical system, I should have a complete virtual digital replica of the same thing in the digital world, maybe using an AR VR system or using a mobile app, so that I can have a complete look and feel, and I operate in a very similar kind of environment as I was doing when I was in physical. Why it is so important? It is important because now I cannot go to my factory every day, or the workers who are working on the factory floors have to be limited in number. Not everybody can be there. There has to be social distancing that has to be maintained. They cannot work in a way they were been working earlier. So in this situation, this digital twin will help you to have the same kind of experience, but working remotely. So the three building blocks of digital twin, I will say, is the 3D simulation, which is through CAD diagrams or BIM diagrams or GIS. I am able to get a complete static 3D replica of the physical system, like maybe like a pump, or like a drilling machine in a oil refinery, or maybe a complete process like the entire manufacturing process itself. So I need to have the 3D replica, and because 3D replica is static, I will superimpose on top of that the real-time sensor data to make it dynamic. So whatever is happening on the ground, I should be able to see dynamically changing in my client. And then finally, the easy interface. The interface that most digital twin users use is AR or a VR system, but you can also use a mobile app, or maybe you can have a desktop application as well. But the idea here is that you are able to, with a very limited knowledge of this AR VR system, you are able to easily interface with your physical system. You are able to operate it as if you have been doing when you are there physically in the system. So that way, though you are remotely operating, you can have things like you can give trainings to your staff. You can remotely operate things. You can even change some of the parts as required through a robotic arm, or even you can do a 24/7 monitoring and maintenance of your system as well. So let me give you a very interesting example where the digital twin can help you to manage the entire life cycle of an aircraft industry. So I have divided into three phases: design, manufacturing, and in-service monitoring. While you are in design, you don't have the aircraft in front of you, don't have the physical aircraft, but you can create a conceptual 3D model and work on it, do different tests to strengthen your design to make it more suitable for the condition in which this aircraft will operate. Once you have this design, this system can then go to your manufacturing, where this 3D model that has been created, the design can be used digital. Also, you can do a complete quality control of that using creating another digital twin for the process part of it. And then when you are in service, that means when the aircraft is operating and it is in flight, you will not have to wait for it to come to ground or park at the airport and then you do something. So even when it is in flight, you can have a complete monitoring of the system in a 3D space and diagnose where the problem is, so that when it touches ground, you take very less time to go and fix it because you already know where the problem is. So digital twin is not only about just one phase of the life cycle; it is for the entire phase of the life cycle of the manufacturer. So what are the different building blocks of digital twin? So you have simulation, so that you created the complete 3D, and then sensors and connectivity, which Ms. Pavai and Mr. Anil Pathak was talking about. So the sensors can help you to extract the data from your physical system, and then the connectivity helps you to take it to the digital world. And the most important part is having the data intelligence. So you have the data, you want to present in a form that it is useful for you to visualize and help you to have your operations performed more optimally. For example, AI, machine learning, or even analytics can sometimes help you to diagnose things for faster, or help you to know how to change a certain part of the system or how to do day-to-day maintenance. And finally, the digital twin client through which you interact. As I said, it can be AR or VR system, or it can even be your desktop application through which you can do. But this will change the entire way you are interfacing with your system. You're not in front of your system. Even then, you have the same, have the touch and feel of your system. You can even operate it remotely. And I think the most interesting and important topic that has come in is training your staff on new systems. Okay, so Altran has been working on several digital twin technology across different industry. Energy is in forefront, because in case of energy, the windmills or the gas turbines are at very remote location, and to manage them, go every day there and maintain it is sometimes very difficult. So this is one of the most important use case for digital twin. And then aviation, healthcare, and so on. So in healthcare, because we're talking about COVID, it has become so important, because right from a faster drug discovery to your the entire quality control of the manufacturing of your medicine, everything becomes much more efficient if you have a digital. And then there are very, I will say, use cases that are that goes beyond just one system, that we call a system of systems, like the smart city. That means it spans across your city or your nation, that means the entire nation becomes a digital twin, so that the cities and the different activities that is happening in the cities can be managed through digital twin. So these are, I will say, some of the extreme cases of digital twin. So digital twin has immense value. First is that it provides you high reliability. So one report says that it gives you 99.49% of reliability, or even higher in some cases. Reduce the reactive maintenance because you are using data-driven, more proactive, and the overall time to come up with your final product is 75%. The time is reduced. So the digital twin market is very promising. It is saying that it is going to be 35.8 billion US dollars by 2025. So that is the potential of this market. So I will end up with some of the very interesting use cases that we have done for our customer. For example, for Airbus, for their aircraft, one of their aircraft factory, we had created a complete smart factory. So once I share this slide with all of you, you can also see this in the YouTube. So here what happens is the entire operation of this aircraft factory. You can get into the factory, you can open the door, you can do some remote operation, you can even change some of the part of some of the system as part of your standard operation procedures. Everything can be done using a digital twin, and we call it smart factory because the factory, it's all digital, it's immersive. You're not there, but you can get inside and do your operation. That is one of our, I will say, on digital twin. The second one is for gas turbines. We have been doing for our customer Siemens, and the idea here is that there are several gas turbines which are, some are very old, some are moderately new, but are now different makes. Some are water cooled. So these gas turbines are large in numbers. So can I create digital twin quickly and able to manage various kind of turbines which are maybe placed very remotely in the field? Can I get the sensor data and manage thousands of digital twins? So 9,000 is the number to be precise, which we have converted them to digital twin, and we have managed Siemens to operate them optimally. And the other very interesting use case is one of the national highways in Netherlands, where they the roads has several bridges, and the bridges have to be opened or closed whenever a big ship is coming in through this canal, as you see it here. And this is a real picture of that bridge. So with the digital twin, their operations, those bridge operations were managed so that the traffic is not stopped for a very long time when this ship is passing by, and also keeping the safety and other procedures in mind. And finally, I will talk about a simulation that we have done for one of our customer Airbus for their aircrafts, so that their monitoring of the system can happen even it is in flight. So all these use cases comes from diverse different kind of industries, right from aircraft, aerospace industry, to your the energy industry, to the highways that we are managing. But the use case remains same, that can we have a complete 3D model which is dynamic and helps me to remotely now we are able to manage our operation without creating any stoppage or any kind of problem for our users or our customers, our consumers who want to go back to their normal life and go back to the business and so on. So to end this with a quote from UN Secretary General: "We are in this together, and we'll get through this together, thanks to the technology innovations that we are doing, and we are working hard to get out of this pandemic." With that, I would like to thank all of you for listening to this event. If there is a question, I can take it now.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. You have beautifully explained a digital twin for our participants. There are a few questions, but we are running short of time, so we'll be taking only one or two.
Sure.
First question is, what were the terms E and P as indicated in the graph that was shown?
Um, number, so like which graph?
So this over here, we have 2025 P and 2019 E.
Yeah. So 2000.
The same slide.
Um, 2019 E is early 2019 to 2025 and post 2025 also. That's what
Okay, sir. Thank you. So next question will to handle or to have digital twins in almost all sectors and domain.
Yes. So I digital twin is coming for sure in India. Uh, Indian clients we are already talking about. I cannot name them, but one of them is a large who want to have this use case. And one of the, I will say the low hanging fruit here, or the one that will, the use case that will come in near term is the digital training. For example, when I have to get into a factory, I need to get train well. So digital twin for large factories where there are complex equipment, training will is one of the near-term use case that is being seen as a candidate for implementing digital twin. The other place is what we are seeing is in the medical sector, where the big pharma companies are asking us to create a digital twin so that their entire process, right from the drug discovery to the manufacturing process quality control, can be handled so that the medicines or the drugs can be made available to the end user faster than the normal time. Usually this takes around 10 years, almost a decade, for a new medicine to come in, right from the discovery to several clinical trials. But to expedite this journey in this situation, the idea is that can we take help of digital technologies like.
Thank you, sir. That was a one talk, and with this, I would move on further. Our chief guest for the evening today, Professor K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, NBA, New Delhi, needs no introduction. After a distinguished service of 27 years at NIT Kurukshetra, Professor Agarwal served as Pro Vice Chancellor of 3 years, and then as founder vice chancellor of GGS Indraprastha University, Delhi, for a period of 10 years. He has been president of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, IETE, India, for the period from 2002 to 2004. President, Computer Society of India from 2007 to 2009, and President of Southeast Asia Regional Computer Confederation, SEARCC, from 2008 to 2010. Professor Agarwal has published approximately 400 papers in reputed journals worldwide. He has been widely consulted by the industry, most notable being his contribution towards the reliability analysis of PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. Professor Agarwal was conferred the honorary fellowship by the Broadcast Society of India and was decorated with Lifetime Achievement Award by IETE and also by Computer Society of India. Professor Agarwal has been associated with the NBA in various capacities since its inception and was chairman EAEC Tier 2 before taking over as chairman NBA on 14th January 2019. I welcome you today to this distinguished gathering, sir, and request you to kindly address the session.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika, for the introduction, and my pleasure to be here this evening on the occasion of 67th Foundation Day of IETE. The president of this great institution, Professor Bakal, Dr. Hoda, Chairman TPCC, one of the most important activity we have in IETE, the distinguished speakers, Ms. Azir Pawai, Mr. Anil Pathak, Mr. Shubhankar Pal, all the distinguished council members, past presidents, distinguished fellows, and my colleagues. I was wondering all the time before Ritika read my CV, why I am not being connected to IETE. Everybody is talking about NBA and IP University, but IETE, which is my very favorite institution, is not being mentioned. Friends, it has always been a pleasure to be a part of this great institution, and the quest is to keep on making it greater all the time. Friends, Professor Hoda, when he was talking about 67th Foundation Day or birthday of this great institution, did find out a coincidence that it was Monday in 1953 and it's Monday today. I have a much bigger coincidence to tell you, and this is the coincidence which I found out when I was addressing the Golden Jubilee of IETE as its president. It was during that time we had our Golden Jubilee, and Deputy Prime Minister Advani ji was the chief guest. And I remember having researched and find out in 1953, country founded IETE because the thrust for non-formal education was recognized. In 1953, country founded its first IIT because formal engineering education was required. In 1953, country established CSIR because research was supposed to be at the same time when the teaching is going on. So I do not consider it as a simple coincidence that technical formal education starts, technical non-formal education starts, and industrial research starts in the same year. People call these things as coincidences, but I have always believed these coincidences are the result of outcome of the experience of forefathers, which were working in their mind, and one fine morning it erupts. So the combination of these three things to start in the same year indicates what we are now again repeating in NEP 2020, that these things have to come together. We have worked in silos all this time, decrying each other. For research institutions and teaching institutions, we say they don't help each other. For formal and non-formal education, we have been demeaning each other, and so on and so forth. And that is where we are wrongly. So I'm so happy that IET is celebrating its 67th year in the backdrop of national education policy, which has already been announced, and let us learn some lessons from this policy to rejuvenate IETE. IETE, my dear friends, went through a little bad patch before reasons which are not due to IETE, but for reasons beyond us. Our student population went through a great dip, and so on and so forth. But I'm so happy when I found during the pandemic, the activities of IET have rather increased. I've seen so many good functions being held by IET during this period of pandemic. And like all previous years, we are celebrating this Foundation Day today. Friends, IETE has been an institution which has been concentrating on information technology. And I have always said information technology per se is a multidisciplinary subject. Information technology was never a subject, natural subject. It evolved as multidisciplinary combination of subjects. Computers and communications joined hands. Then psychology and cybernetics entered in the domain, and we continue to developing information technology, and that is the forefront of our work. I have always wondered if we cannot make IETE a much greater institution to be recognized by the whole country, there will be no better time than this, because the country is giving utmost impetus to information technology at this moment. Today's topic, emerging technologies for effective management of the pandemic. I have heard all the three eminent speakers very seriously. And first of all, I congratulate Professor Hoda to identify these three eminent speakers, make them agree to spare their time and share their thoughts with the audience of IETE. I'm sure this evening must have been an academic treat for those who are joining on this platform. All these three speakers had made great presentations in their depth of knowledge. The points which I will not like to sort of summarize each one of them, because that probably will be trying to condense their work further, which they have already condensed, to try to fit into 25 minutes. But some observations which I would like to make, if you have heard all the three speakers, you know, one was speaking on 5G, another on IoT, and another on digital twin. But if you listen to all these three speeches, maybe once again, you will find everybody used artificial intelligence, everybody used Internet of Things, everybody used 5G, everybody used interdisciplinary things. The point is, no new technology is going to be a great deliverer without taking the support of other technologies. So the most beautiful part of the 8 technologies which are listed as emerging technologies of the day, whether we call it artificial intelligence, whether we talk of Internet of Things. I mean, Ms. Poya also used drones. So whether we talk of blockchain, we take augmented reality, virtual reality, all these are coming together to give us the great products which are required, great transformations which are needed, which are in the offing. Obviously, because we are doing this webinar on the during pandemic, therefore we have concentrated on technologies for a pandemic. But let me tell you, these technologies are really going to stay and would have come despite pandemic. Even if the pandemic would not have been there, all these technologies were coming in. Only thing is, because of the pandemic, the speed of evolution has increased. And that has always happened in the history. If you look at the history of scientific inventions, technological innovations, it is always world wars. Unfortunately, war has many negatives, but wars are the breeding ground of most of the scientific inventions, most of the technological innovations, which remain with us after the war is over. During the World War II, they wanted to have a very light material to fight the enemy, because if you want to fly the missile, the lesser the weight, better it is. So lightweight material research started, war ended, but this lightweight material now is used for missiles, yes, but is also used for making calipers for the artificial limbs of the children. Now, a child who had to carry X kgs is now have to carry only X by 4 kgs. So that is an advantage. We thought something in the context of missile, but ultimately it's being used for artificial limbs. So where does a technology really find application? We even do not know when we are finding out the technology. Same thing is true of this pandemic, which is almost a war. And in the history of all of us lifetime, I think this is the severest disruption which we have ever seen. And therefore, it's to classify it as a war will be perfectly normal. But if you look at the rate of working of the people during this pandemic, you will be surprised. We would have never imagined that the people will discover, will invent a ventilator of the size of a toaster in the kitchen, because pandemic required so many ventilators at affordable cost, and therefore we did that. Nobody would have imagined that people will convert a scuba helmet into a ventilator just by inserting a 3D valve, and that 3D valve itself is printed using a 3D printer, which printer itself is made in the country at a cost of 10,000 rupees. Now imagine the scale factors of cost, the projections of technology which have come in because of the pandemic, because human race is always such that put to a bad situation, you always deliver very great things. And I'm sure these technologies will remain with us. Pandemic obviously will not remain with us. It will go away. The time is the only factor which we have to see. I was listening to one of the speakers, I think Dr. Hoda, who was trying to connect economics with engineering. Friends, I have always believed an engineer who does not believe in economics is not doing engineering at all. Engineering has to be with economics. And these days, I'm taking part in a series of webinars from USA, and the title is Economics and Education Taken Forward Together. Because if you forget about economics and want to take education forward, you fail somewhere. And you have to take these two together. And I always also believe we are all engineers, although we are telecom engineers or computer science engineers basically, but we are all engineers. And I have never believed the theory that the word engineer is from engine. You have to be making something which works. You have to be making something which moves. I believe engineer is from ingenuity, is from ingenious. So if you are innovative, if you are creative, if you are ingenious, then only you are engineer. Otherwise, you are not an engineer. And if you don't agree with me, please tell me, what does social engineering mean? What does financial engineering mean? What does value engineering mean? If engineering is associated with motion, then value engineering should not be a word. Social engineering should not be a word. Genetic engineering should not be a word. So engineering is basically creativity. And this pandemic has told us that creativity is more important than ever before. And that is where we have to put all our best foot forward on. All these three distinguished speakers. 5G, for example, our online education would have been much more effective, much more penetrative if 5Gs were available to us. So and I was very happy when the emphasis was given on agriculture and health by almost all speakers. And these are the priorities of this country: agriculture, health, education, manufacturing. If we take these four as priorities and use these 8 new technologies, which are primarily IT based, then there's a transformation for this country. Talking in the context of pandemic, it is using artificial intelligence today that you can have drug discovery at about 30% of the cost and in about 25% of the time. The vaccines which you are hoping will come in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months would have taken 5, 7 more years without artificial intelligence. We may not directly see it, but that's the effect. And the cost reduction is even more. First of all, cost reduction directly because of time reduction, and then otherwise. So artificial intelligence, which doesn't appear to have any correlation with drug discovery, is a great boon for our drug discovery by reducing the time and the cost so drastically. And that is the beauty of these technologies, that where we can deliver what. And finally, friends, because of my rightful existence as a past president of IETE, and I think IETE is now working on establishing a university. I would request all the members from academics in the governing council, please give very strong emphasis on this, because it is the time where new things can be tried. The new education policy gives us a scope to try what was non-existent. I'm just dreaming of this. I don't know what will happen. But if Uber can run a taxi service without a taxi, if Airbnb can run a hotel company without a single hotel room, can't we run a virtual university without a full-time teacher? Why not? Online education is there. If we just become the coordinators, effective coordinators between the students and the faculty worldwide, and a virtual university with an excellent online system, why not we give a new dimension? And people say you have to Uberize everything now to exist. What we had in software as a service, now cars is as a service, hotel room is as a service. Why can't teacher be as a service? And I was reading about Estonia, a small country. They say nation state as a service. The whole nation is at your service on a price. You don't have to physically exist. So maybe I thought my last word would be, when you are establishing a university, let's give it a totally different dimension. We succeed or fail, I can't say, because country is little difficult to handle all the time. But if we can, and if anybody can, it's only IETE who can. Because we can legitimately claim, experts of online education, we can legitimately claim to be the best communication engineers with us. We can legitimately claim best IT experts with us. Therefore, for us to sell the idea of a university where walls may not be very important, where number of faculty headcounts may not be very important, plan it that way. And I will like to see the great success of this. Thank you very much. I have never considered myself as a guest in any of the IET forums, but nonetheless, I double up as an easily available guest also whenever required by IET or CSI. And I'm so happy to be here and wish this 68th year to be as great or greater for IETE compared to the previous years. Thank you, Professor Bakal. Thank you, Professor Hoda, and everyone else for giving me this opportunity to be with you this evening, and wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for wonderfully outlining the life and future of research and IET in India. It has always been wonderful to hear words of wisdom from none
Thank you,
other
sir.
than
Thank you.
you. It is now time for the felicitation of senior members of IET. One of the integral elements of Foundation Day is the felicitation of senior members who have completed the age of the member is 75 years as on date and are fellow of the institution for at least 25 years. Such members are recognized and presented as a token of appreciation on the auspicious. The felicitation of the members of IET and Noida centers, as recommended by the centers, are to be done now in this event. I request all dignitaries on the dais to kindly do the virtual honors. We'll just take a moment to first share the presentation.
Yeah, I will request all the 5 senior members who are to be felicitated to please switch on their video.
This we start with senior members. We first honor Shri B.P. Srivastava, born on 15th April 1931 and fellow member of IETE Noida Center. We welcome you, sir, to this auspicious occasion and we honor you for your association with IETE. We next move on to Brigadier Ramesh Chandra, born on 12th July 1944 and fellow member IETE Center. We again welcome you to this special occasion, sir, and we are delighted to honor you for your continued association with IETE for over 2 decades. Thank you, sir. We next move on to Colonel on 15 July 1943 and fellow member Noida Center. We are privileged to have you amongst us, sir, today and are privileged to honor you for your continued association with IETE.
लाइट ऑफ कर दें जरा. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next move on to Professor Ajay Kumar Tandon, born on 27 July 1945, an MTech from IIT Bombay and PhD from IIT Delhi. Sir has served many institutes in varying capacities during his professional career. He has been a fellow member of IETE Delhi Center. We welcome you today to this auspicious occasion, sir, and are privileged to have your continued association with IETE. Last but not least, we also have Shri D.R. Mehta, born on 16th March 1938 and fellow member IETE Delhi Center since more than last 2 decades. We are privileged to have you amongst us, sir, today. Please accept this honor from IETE. Thank you to all the privileged guests and all the senior members who facilitated today in this occasion. With this, I can see we have a few more questions which were left. So with permission from our dignitaries on the dais, could we have a few more questions?
Yeah, you can take up 2-3 questions and then go for member.
Yes, sir. The first question that we have is, how using IoT health monitor data can be connected to the cloud?
Yeah, hi, Dr. Ritika. Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, sir. How using IoT health to monitor the cloud?
Yeah. So, as I said, it is basically So if I repeat the question, how IoT health data can be connected to the cloud? Was that your question?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think many of these sensors and edge devices comes up with a communication protocol. And this communication could be in the form of Wi-Fi, in terms of a 3G, 4G, or 5G. And all these connections or communication is connected to the cloud. It could be AWS or private cloud or Azure or anything like that. And that information is available on the cloud. And then on that, we can do analytics. For example, like in Arogya Setu app also, though it is not that health data, but yes, it is related to the health of the person. That information, once the user gives confirmation, that information can be uploaded. That data is being transferred using the mobile app, that communication to the government control server. So that is the answer, I hope.
Thank you, sir. Quickly, I'll move on to the next question. Are there any organization that provide funds to develop IoT-based devices or projects in this pandemic?
Yeah. So there are many startups has come up in this pandemic, and because the market is very big and the time to market is also very less. So a lot of these technology which I talked about, like robots, etc., all this has come up, like this core board has come up with a very startup kind of an organization. So that is also new. A lot of these applications which I talked about, like track and trace, digital pass, the APIs are available, and many organizations, many startups are doing that. Now, question is this: is somebody giving the funds? So that is a business decision. If your solution is compelling, you are making it right. Obviously, you'll find some angel investors to do the funding also. All right.
Thank you, sir. I would finish it over here and move on further. This evening and wonderful of the 67th IETE Foundation Day 2020 Evening Symposium on the theme Emerging Technologies for Effective Management would not have been possible had our chief guests and dignitaries not agreed to be part of the same. I would now request Professor J.W. Bakal, President IETE India, and Professor M.N. Hoda, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Communications and Management, along with our chief guest, Professor K.K. Agarwal, to kindly do the honors. We first honor our first speaker, Ms. R. Ezir Pawai, with a memento and a certificate for today's session.
So, congratulations, Pawai. You gave a wonderful presentation. The time constraints was so that from 35 minutes to 30 to 25 to 20, I kept on shrinking to my speakers, and all my speakers responding to that. Thank you so much.
Thank Mr. Shri Anil Pathak. Sir, here is your memento and certificate for the wonderful talk.
Simply great, Mr. Anil. Simply great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next week. Sir, thank you so much for the wonderful session. Here is your memento and your certificate.
Mr. Shubhankar, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I knew all three speakers of Alice Inter Ultron was so busy today, and they started talking to me that can we take our customer calls in between, but all of you were here and made this program great. Thank you so much to all of you.
And last but not the least, I request Huda sir and Bakal sir, please on our chief Professor K.K. Agarwal.
Sir, thanks is a very small word for you. As you have rightly said, you are part of IETE family, And when I was planning this program, and that too on a topic which has got so much of versatility, that emerging technologies for effective management of COVID and other kind of pandemic situation, it was difficult for me that who should be the chief guest, who can connect to the technology, who can connect to the development, and yet be a relevant person. And then the only one name before me was you. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you, Dr. Hoda. Thank you, Dr. Bakal.
And my dear friends, while preparing the minute-to-minute schedule, it was becoming difficult for me that an online program, my personal experience out of organizing around close to 200 webinar sessions, that beyond 2.5 hours, beyond even 1.5 hours, the online programs lose the interest. So I was trying to cut it short, but still I tried that we will finish by 7:45. Dot at 7:45 we are finishing. That is the beauty, and thank you so much to all the speakers, all the panelists, all the participants from different parts of the country, including 7 participants from abroad, including Philippines. I saw a participant from attending our program and writing so nice and encouraging messages in the chat window on my WhatsApp, that this program having so much of information to all of us on related topics, that it was so live. Thank you so much to all of you. Close to 500 people, including our live streaming on YouTube, have attended this particular program. And formal vote of thanks will be delivered by our Secretary General, Mr. Pankaj Sharma. And after that, my dear participants, this meeting room will be converted into a call center, where for next 1 hour, means till 8:30 to 8:45, we will be trying to resolve your queries for getting e-certificate. But please mind, the feedback link has been shared in the chat window. All of you are required to fill up the feedback. Certificate should get generated and should be delivered at your email ID automatically. If you do not fill the feedback form, I have no other mechanism in this system, automated system, to give you a certificate. But I can look into that who all have not filled the feedback so far, and why the certificate is delayed if you have filled the feedback form. This room will be converted into a call center. My all the team members, Mr. Uttam, Manish, Dr. Ritika, and myself will be available for resolving your queries till 8:45. And let's first have the vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks by Secretary General. Thank you so much to all my participants from different parts of the country. Every week evening there is a webinar, and all these participants, most of these participants are regular visitors to our program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Huda.
I would
Thank
now
you.
request Mr. Pankaj Kumar Sharma, Secretary General IETE, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika. First of all, I must express my deep sense of appreciation to Honorable Professor Dr. K.K. Agarwal, past President IETE, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi, and former Vice Chancellor, Guru Gobind Singh in Trust University, New Delhi. Chief guest of the day, for taking out time from his busy schedule and blessing this event with his presence. I would also like to thank our distinguished speakers, Ms. R. Azhar Pawai, Vice President, Eltron, Gurgaon, Shri Anil Pathak, Director, Engineering, Harman Gurugram, Shri Shubhankar Pal, Assistant Vice President, Research and Innovation, Eltron, Gurugram. We are grateful to all of you for your time and effort to share your knowledge, thoughts, and experience with us. I would also express my thankfulness to Professor Dr. J.W. Bakal, President IETE, for his continuous guidance and supervision for the successful conduction of this event. My sincere thanks to Shri Professor Dr. M.N. Hoda and his team for the substantial support he has provided in the organization of this event. I also thank IETE past president, distinguished fellows, and governing council members and all present here for attending this event, and making it too special and memorable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, very well said by Dr. K.K. Agarwal that आविष्कार ही आवश्यकता ही आविष्कार की जननी है. So this pandemic has given us so many chances to event so many things to fight this pandemic. And an event like this cannot happen overnight. The participations need to be started week ago, especially when the event is to be organized digitally, making sure that everything goes systematically and in order is a little challenging. Nevertheless, I and my team at headquarters under the leadership of Chairman TPPC, Dr. Hoda, put in all efforts to make the event a success. I would like to thank IT headquarters team along with the team of Dr. Hoda for their committed and sincere endeavors. This event wouldn't have been successful without their hard work and efforts. I would once again like to thank all those who have contributed in one way or other to accomplish this event. We are most grateful to Dr. Professor K.K. Agarwal for gracing this event with his warm presence. We thank you for being with us and blessing this occasion. It has been a great pleasure. Big thanks to all invited speakers for sharing your innovative presentations with us. Thank you all. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj. It will be unfair on my part. You have thanked the headquarters staff, but it will be unfair on my part if I do not recognize the contribution done by the headquarters staff from all the departments, and particularly Mr. Pankaj, the Secretary General, and Jyoti, who assist me in TPPC from the headquarters, Mr. Bharat, and all other staff members who helped me in this process. And there is one more acknowledgement, my friend Mr. Ajay from the Arisen. In fact, when I'm held up with getting a speaker's confirmation, my friend working as Vice President of Ultran, I rang him up. And then he is there at my backbone and he has attended our entire program just to see that everything is going on seamlessly. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajay. And my dear friends, in this program also, we have used the technology to a great extent, not only for organizing this program, but also for issuing certificate. Because 500 plus certificate is not possible to be issued in a physical wall. And by the time we are talking and delivering vote of thanks in almost 30 minutes, close to 250 plus participants have already generated their certificate. So we have used the technology to the extent that the entire process of taking feedback, capturing data from the feedback, then putting that data in the certificate, generating certificate, making their PDF, and sending that PDF certificate as an attached file on their registered email ID. This entire process has been automated with the help of the Google API using the emerging technology. And that is the beauty that almost 50% of the participants have by now generated their certificate. No mechanism in a manual system would have been created this facility to give that much certificate in such a short interval of time. So thank you so much to all the participants, and thank you to my team, Dr. Ritika, who is always here, and Mr. Uttam and Mr. Manish, who are not visible, but they keep on working at the back end and see to it that everything is going in seamless manner. So thank you so much to my team. And finally, the entire process of knowledge sharing, knowledge dissemination is a process of bringing light from darkness, is a process of bringing us into a knowledge era from ignorance era. And that's how I keep saying the couplet of a great poet that Ujale apni aankhon mein mahfouz kar lo. Keep power of knowledge as part of our internal personality, as part of our personal and professional personality. So Ujale apni aankhon mein mahfouz kar lo. बड़ी दूर तक रात होगी, challenges बहुत होंगे आगे लाइफ में. In absence of the power of knowledge, we won't be in a position to face the challenges or mitigate those challenges. सो उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी, मुसाफिर हो तुम भी, मुसाफिर है हम भी, किसी मोड़ पे फिर मुलाकात होगी. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Thanks to everyone and all the participants from different parts of the country and abroad. I could just see in the chat window, one of the participants mentioned that I'm from Pakistan. You didn't mention Pakistan. So we had participation from Pakistan, Malaysia, Spain, from Australia. Participants, if I've forgotten to mention any country, so I'm naming all such countries where from the participants are. Thank you so much to all of you, and thank you so much to everyone who directly, indirectly contributed to me for organizing this program successfully. Now this meeting room is converted into a call center to resolve the queries related to certificate. All the panelists are at their liberty to now log out. Thank you so much to all of you. The session was memorable as it was required for 67th Foundation Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uday ji.
Thank
you, Uday
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Sir.
It was an auspicious that has come to a beautiful end. I thank all the guests and dignitaries who have graced this occasion with their benign presence. I also thank all the participants who have attended today's occasion. In case any participant has filled the feedback form but does not receive the certificate of participation in their inbox, kindly message your email ID to all the panelists. We are there to help you out.
One participant is from Aalborg University, Denmark, and he's reminding me that I am from Denmark attending your event. Thank you. So, dear participants, if you have got your certificate successfully at your email ID, just write thanks and you can exit. Register for other forthcoming webinars. The immediate next is on 6th of November. And again, digital twin we could not cover in a detail. We are having a detailed lecture of 1.5 hours on digital twin in our 28th November webinar. Those who have not got their certificate on their respective email IDs, please wait here. Do not leave, because we won't be in a position to help you out on WhatsApp, on email, etc. The system is automated and we can help you only from this meeting room. So those who have got certificate, you are requested to please leave the meeting room and join for next webinar. Those who are still waiting, please wait here. We are here to solve your queries. All my panelists and guests are at their liberty to log out, and we'll meet anytime in future. Thank you, sir.
Dr. G. Padmavati, the feedback link is there in the same chat window in which you are writing the message. Manish sir, B. Sridhar Chakravarti has shared his mail ID. Kindly check for his
Feedback link once again.
I hope, sir, you have filled your feedback form.
Those participants who are waiting, who are trying to find the feedback link, you need not to scroll. I have just shared. Please click on this and fill up the feedback form. If you do not fill up the feedback form, I'm sorry, we won't be in a position to help you out. Please fill up. And thank you so much to all the participants for writing encouraging words. That is the teamwork. And IET's Foundation Day should have been organized. That's what we tried and we organized it. And you, all the participants and speakers, made it successful. Oh, great. Mr. Manish is joining from England. Kya baat hai? Wonderful. Wonderful, Manish. Thank you so much having joined. Do join for next programs as well. Ravish Kumar Yadav from Sharda University. Wonderful, Ravish.
Nagarajan sir has already filled the feedback form. He has not received the certificate. I think the reason is because he has given his Yahoo ID on this feedback form link. So kindly see if we have his certificate and we can share it with him.
Colonel Pandey Saab, most welcome. I could see your multiple messages. Thank you so much. And if you are generating certificate, let's experience it. It's a very seamless process. For any help, our team is here.
B. Sridhar sir, your certificate Google Drive link is already shared in the chat window. Kindly download it from here.
Tandon sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. आपकी एनर्जी भी ग्रेट है. मैं तो आपको 25 साल से देख रहा हूँ सर. 96 से देख रहा हूँ. आपके डीसी के टाइम से देख रहा हूँ सर. ग्रेट एनर्जी है. ये इंस्पिरेशन है.
Good. You are multi-various person.
K. Nagarajan sir, your certificate Google link is shared. Kindly download it.
हमारे कपूर साहब, IM कपूर साहब भी अभी हैं हमारे साथ.
हाँ, मैं हूँ सर. आई एम ऑलवेज हियर सर.
मैं देख रहा हूँ.
कपूर साहब की भी बहुत है.
मजा आ गया आज देखकर आपको.
कपूर साहब
डॉक्टर टंडन आए हमारे नॉन मेरे बड़े मेहरबान अफसर रहे हैं. टंडन साहब हैज बीन वेरी काइंड ऑन मी थ्रू माय करियर. आई एम आल्सो.
Tandon साहब is like that only.
Pleasing personality, Mr. Kapoor.
Sir, it's kind of you. I am always at your disposal.
Good. Thank you very much. Huda ji,
sir,
activity-oriented lectures is very close to my heart, and I have so many models.
Right, sir.
I take weekly one class in which I do not use blackboard and duster and all that.
Right.
It is two real models which are made by myself only to demonstrate basic laws, theorems, rules, and all that. So I think these days also through net I have demonstrated those experiments. In fact, I conducted one webinar on Faraday Memorial Lecture for one of these.
आप अगर कहें तो एक्टिविटी ओरिएंटेड लर्निंग पे मैं एक वेबिनार किसी इवनिंग कर लूं. बताइए
आप कर सकते हैं. तो उसमें मैं अपने कोई टॉपिक लेके और उसके डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन के थ्रू उस प्रेजेंटेशन को मैं प्रोग्रेस कर सकता हूँ.
तो आप एक छोटा सा 4 लाइन का मुझे एब्स्ट्रैक्ट अगर व्हाट्सएप पे भेज दें सर प्लीज.
ठीक है.
जस्ट फॉर मेकिंग फ्लायर इनविटेशन.
ठीक है.
I will do that.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir.
Thank you.
So Kapoor साहब, still you are there, huh? I am Kapoor साहब.
आज सभी वेटरन्स हमें ब्लेस करने आए थे. फाउंडेशन डे था तो सभी सीनियर्स को आना ही चाहिए था.
बिल्कुल.
आपका हुक्म है सर. आपने हुक्म करा.
कपूर साहब की भी एनर्जी ह्यूज होती है और हमेशा पॉजिटिव होती है.
नहीं, बिल्कुल. और कपूर साहब तो ऑलवेज इज गिविंग गाइडेंस and valuable suggestions also. Thank you very much, Huda साहब. Can I leave the meeting, please?
Yes, पंकज जी, you can leave. ये सिर्फ आप सर्टिफिकेट रिजॉल्व करना है, वो मेरी टीम और मैं देख लूंगा.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all the member of the headquarter.
Good night, sir.
आपने ज्योति ने बिल्कुल टाइमली सब चीजें मुझे दी ताकि प्रोग्राम के वक्त कुछ लेने की जरूरत न रहे.
नहीं, this was my duty, sir. This was my duty. Thank you very much. So kind of you. Thank you. Good night. A very good night, sir.
Good night. मनीष, ये एक बार मीराबाई का देखें, इनकी सर्टिफिकेट.
Not fill the feedback form because they are not finding the link for the feedback form.
चीजें हैं. एक तो मैं फीडबैक फॉर्म दोबारा से फीडबैक का लिंक पोस्ट कर रहा हूं चैट विंडो में. दूसरा, जो लोग मोबाइल से हैं और वो किसी वजह से चैट विंडो नहीं देख पा रहे लिंक, मेरा मोबाइल नंबर मैं पोस्ट कर रहा हूं. मैं के ईमेल पे या किसी के व्हाट्सएप पे हम सर्टिफिकेट नहीं भेज सकते. द रीजन बीइंग दैट सर्टिफिकेट वी आर नॉट जनरेटिंग. Once as a participant you fill up the feedback form, then only the certificate will be generated and automatically it will be sent to your email ID. Even if it doesn't get delivered at your email ID, then you can download from the Google Drive. So very important aspect here is to fill the feedback form. That is important. So anyone who is not able to get the feedback form in the chat window, please write, send a WhatsApp message on my WhatsApp number. I am just posting. So on this WhatsApp number, and those who are even not ready to see the chat window, you can note down. I am speaking. It is 9212 022 066. I will send you the link on your WhatsApp. Till 8:30, the link is active. Next 25 minutes possibly. You have to quickly fill the feedback form. Once you, then you can either get on your email or you can download from the Google Drive. I will repeat my WhatsApp number 9212022066. And those participants who are not part of any of our WhatsApp group, I will request them to join any of the WhatsApp group. I am sharing a link of one of the WhatsApp group. You can use that link and join our WhatsApp group so that timely information of the forthcoming programs you can get. And those participants who are not finding link in the chat window, you can drop a message on my WhatsApp group. I will immediately give you the Google Drive link of the certificate as well as the feedback link so that you can quickly fill it up. Only 24 minutes are left.
Any participant who has filled the feedback form but has not received their certificate in their inbox as yet, they may kindly share their mail ID with us in the chat window. But kindly remember, filling the feedback form is important for your certificate to be generated. Without you filling the feedback form, your certificate cannot be generated. It's a completely automated process.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravinder, for writing encouraging words. Do attend our programs as well. And those who could not get my WhatsApp number, it is 9212 022 066. 9212 022 066. Dr. G. Padmavati. Dr. G. Padmavati finds difficult sometimes to pronounce. Dr. G. Padmavati, please note down the WhatsApp number and all the participants who are waiting for WhatsApp number 92120 92120 220 92120 220 If you write me a hi message, hello message, I will immediately send you the feedback link. Next 20 minutes are left now. 400 plus people have generated. I think around 50 people are left. Please do quickly.
Mirabai ma'am, we will not send the mail ID. Sir has shared his WhatsApp numbers 9212 Kindly send him a message. He will share the feedback link with you. I am sorry, ma'am. We cannot keep mailing the feedback link. It is very difficult. Kindly send a WhatsApp message to sir. He shall share the feedback link. I hope all the last participants that are left with us have already filled the feedback form. Aniket Bhandare, Ankur Singh, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Chavi, Dheeraj, Dibya Jyoti, Dr. Rahees, Dr. Sanasam, Dr. A. Narendra, Dr. G. Padmavati, Imtiaz, J. Murali Mohan, Kaliappan, Kuber, Madan Mohan, Malay, Mandeep Singh, Mohammad Rafiqul, Mirabai, Meghna, Mehwash, Mehak, Moreshwar, Neeru, OP Singh, Pavan Krishnan, Pavan Kumar, PK Bhatnagar, Praveen Kumar, Pravesh, Praveen, Priya, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Saiful, Santosh, Sakib, Saroj, Satendra, Shantanu, Sheena, Sohan, Sudhir, Supratim, Tarun, Vinu, Vibhor, Virendra Kumar, and Vivek. In case any of you are facing any problem with the certificate generation, kindly write us a message in the chat window. Certificate generation is completely automated and it is there till 8:30 p.m. The link will be deactivated. Any issues, kindly share a message with us. Thank you, Mehvaj. You have received your certificate. We hope to see you in our next webinar on 6th. You can leave the meeting room now.
Thank you so much to all the participants who are again writing good words, encouraging words about the team members, about the program. Mavish, Meera की क्या problem है? Meera को certificate feedback link. Please send feedback link. Feedback be sent Meera bhai at your email ID. You just drop me a WhatsApp message. I will give you feedback link on your WhatsApp. My number is 9212022066. 9212022066. Last 15-20 minutes, 15 minutes are left. Please send it quickly. Unless you fill up the feedback form, certificate cannot be generated. Oh, Dheeraj, you received the certificate? Good, wonderful. Those who have received, please leave the meeting room so that we can address to the concerns of those participants who are still waiting.
Any Shantanu, your certificate Google Drive link has been shared. Kindly download it from the chat window. Almost 40 participants are still there with us. In case any of you are facing a problem while with your feedback, kindly contact us. I hope all of you have filled the feedback. I can see a few of ours. It's good. We hope to have you on 6th. I In case any participant is still facing a problem with submission of the feedback form, kindly write to us. Aniket Bhandare, Ankur, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Dr. Rahees, Dr. A. Narendra, Dr. G. Padmavati, Imtiaz, Mandeep, Mohammad Rafiqul, Mirabai, Mehak, Moreshwar, O.P. Singh, Pavan Krishnan, P.K. Bhatnagar, Praveen Pawar, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Saiful, Santosh, Sakib, Saroj, Satendra, Sheena, Supratim, Tarun, Vinu, Vibhor, Virendra Kumar, and Vivek. I hope all these participants have already received their certificate of participation. Dear participants, last few minutes left. The feedback form link will get deactivated at 8:30. So in case there are any issues or problems, kindly get in touch with us on time. Manish sir, kindly check for Paramjeet Singh's certificate. He has submitted the feedback but not received the certificate of participation. Sir, if you could kindly also mess with us. Manish sir, Paramjeet sir has shared his email ID. I hope we can check for his certificate. Manish sir, could we trace Paramjeet sir's certificate? Few more minutes left. We have almost 29 participants with us. Andare, Ankur Singh, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Dr. Rahees, Dr. A. Narendra, Dr. G. Padmavati, Imtiaz Khan, Mandeep Singh, Mohammad Rafiqul, Mirabai, Moreshwar, OP Singh, Pavan Krishan, PK Bhatnagar, Praveen Pawar, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Saiful, Santosh, Sakib, Saroj, Sheena, Binu, and Vivek. I hope all these participants have received their certificate. Lisa, kindly check for Paramjeet's certificate. Paramjeet sir, your feedback form has not been filled. I think there was a problem and it has not been submitted. So kindly please submit the feedback form. Dr. Rahees has received his certificate. Paramjeet sir, we have checked. Form has not been submitted. Kindly submit it again. Drive link of your certificate, kindly download it from here. Aniket Bhandare, Ankur Singh, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Dr. G. Padmavati, Imtiaz, Mandeep, Mohammad Rafiqul, Mirabai, Moreshwar, OP Singh, Pavan Krishan, PK Bhatnagar, Praveen, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Saiful, Santosh, Saroj, Sheena, Supratim, Vinu, and Vivek. I hope all of you have received your certificate. If yes, kindly at least confirm in the chat. Uh, Thank you, Santosh Kumar sir. Thank you, Paramjeet sir. Last few participants who are still there with us, kindly confirm if you have received your certificate or not. Form, kindly fill it fast, bache. What were you waiting for till now? I hope you have the link for feedback form. Saiful has received the certificate. Good, thank you. Mandeep, organization is BVI CAM itself. Kindly fill it fast. 5 minutes still left.
ये मनदीप अपनी स्टूडेंट है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, तो इसे इतना टाइम लग रहा है, आप जल्दी बबलो।
I hope rest of the participants have already received their certificate. G. Padmavati ma'am, you have submitted the certificate. Check your inbox. Manish sir, kindly check for the certificate of Dr. G. Padmavati. Mandeep, I hope you have submitted the feedback form. Aniket Bhandare, Ankur Singh, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Dr. G. Padmavati. Okay, fine. Dr. G. Padmavati, kindly download your certificate. We have shared the Google Drive link of the same. Imtiaz, Mandeep, Mohammad Rafiq, Mirabai, Moreshwar, OP Singh, Pavan Krishan, PK Bhatnagar, Praveen, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Santosh Kumar sir has received the certificate, I suppose, and Saroj. So I hope all participants have received the certificate. Dr. G. Padmavati, I hope you have downloaded your certificate. Google link we had in the chat window. Okay, Mandeep, wait for a few minutes. You will be receiving it in your inbox. Manish sir, Mandeep has also filled the submitted the feedback form. Let's check for a certificate. Dr. G. Padmavati, the Google Drive link is just above your message. The participants who have received their certificate may kindly leave the meeting. Thank you so much for your being with us. Aniket, Ankur, B. Sridhar, Bhavini, Chakravarti, Mohammad Rafiqul, Mirabai, Moreshwar, OP Singh, Pavan Krishan, PK Bhatnagar, Praveen, Ramanpreet, Ravina, Santosh, Saroj, Sheena, Supratim, Vivek. Sheena is again a student. I hope, Sheena, you have received your certificate. All participants kindly confirm if you have received your certificate. Dr. G. Padmavati, thank you so much. Mandeep, download your certificate. Google Drive link has been shared. Great. Thank you, Mandeep. Certificate. Great to know that. Thank you, Mandeep. We hope you join us in the further webinars also. Mirabai ma'am, I told you to send a WhatsApp at sir's number. The last few attendees that are left, I hope all of them have received their certificate. Mirabai ma'am, kindly send a WhatsApp at 921220222066.